We are in the podcast studio here at Mal, and I am very excited because if you know about data and understand data, then you know what you need to do and to grow your app. So what better way to have a discussion than to talk about data and what you need to know and some new data. And I've got all of this with you, Crystal.
Yeah.
Crystal Bai, Marketing Director, Social Peta. I am lucky because I get a little bit of everything. I get some of the company, I get a lot of the data and the insights. But of course, everyone is more than a title. And I like to start with the person first because it's interesting. I ask people to describe themselves. And I like this because it's like, not only are you good at your job and have 10 years of experience, but it's like, you call it out. I'm good at project management, planning, and control.
Sounds like
what does that tell me about you?
Sounds like everything. Like what you said, it's more than a decade years. And actually, at the beginning, I'm not in this area. All the beginning is animated film. And it's my first maybe couple of 2 or 3 years on doing the marketing strategies and also doing some shooting things. So that's why I thought the camera is familiar, but it's for long years. And then I just turned to the football world. Doing the prize professions and maybe something like the sponsorship activities. It's really interesting things, but I was thinking something like about, the international things and the internet things, all the AI things is really just interest me. So that's the reason why I chose to go into this area. That's the first one. And the second, normally I'm doing things like the B2C. I will say something like it's interesting, but I'm curious about what will happening about the marketing part, about the B2B. So, the Social Peta, there we are doing the B2B. So that's the reason I just go here. And yes, I'm been here more than 5 years, I think, and handle the marketing part. And before, I think 2022 before, we are doing the Asia and Pacific market around. After 2022, we are just doing a lot of things around Europe. So that's the reason maybe you just saw the pocket gamer things in the London, and we have stuff in Turkey. And also, we will join some exhibits in June, I think, in Germany.
They will go to my backyard.
Games for, I think.
Okay,
maybe,
cool. There you go. We'll be seeing each other there again.
I think maybe or maybe summer, and you will see her maybe.
So there you go. So we'll have more and more of this going on. And you're right. You have been out there for a while, but I have to admit, it's only been like the last couple of years. But that makes sense because then the focus was on Europe and outside of Asia. And I had some panels with some great people from your team. And I'll have other panels with some other people from your team coming up. We talked a lot about data during these panels, but I want to understand first, like Social Peta is not the only company with intelligence, with insights. So help me understand where you see yourself in the landscape of these companies. And I want to understand like
what's the
where
difference?
What is special about you?
First, you're talking about the Tower. Of course, the data AI, they are the same company now. We have the different things is we are focusing on the different data because for Social Peta, we are focusing on adcreatives data. That's why I'm sharing with all the data is about just based on adcreatives ads. So we are doing adcreatives. And also, of course, we have app intelligence, but it's not the most, I think most of the, this like the center, they have it. And they are telling something like about the download things, all the income
which is not really extremely actionable. It's important. Looks great in presentations, but data around creative, now that is very timely.
That's the reason
why. So you were
a
little bit ahead of your time.
And that's the reason why at the beginning we are choosing in this, this industry's concept like this way. Because we think, it's a really good question. We need to find a different way between we and theirs. Maybe we won't say we have the competitive with each other because it depends on the different company. Because some company, especially maybe they're really small or maybe medium, they will focusing on something like the download things. But for now, we just find some group. They are not a really big company, but they are really care about the ad creatives because the competitive now is everybody have the high pressures because economy is sinking. So they will find a way to doing something is different. You need to doing something like the catch everyone's eyes and let them to know you are different, and that will help you to pay less you know, the ads price, and then you can just catch the people they really interest about your ads, or maybe they really interest about your game. It's not just, you know, everybody just being here, your download is really good, but talking about the income in the ad, maybe it's not specific. So I think that's the difference.
It's super important to understand the creatives, because now that's really all you really have to attract. And a lot of companies are using creative to sort of like pre-segment users as well, saying, well, if we show this kind of creative, that means we're getting this type of player to a game or this type of user for our app. And so by showing certain images, you're trying to attract certain audiences. And you're seeing a lot of trends in there. So that's extremely useful.
Yes, but of course, that's the reason maybe we are focusing on the different industry. Like we are, like our white paper, we will separate to the gaming part or the non-gaming part.
Exactly. We don't hear enough about non-gaming.
Yeah, but you can understand it, right? Yeah. You can understand it. Yeah. And especially for the non-gaming, we also will separate something like, I'm not really sure the word is right. The short drummer. Do you know? It's calling short drummer in here, or the play that in here. It's kind of like it's a drummer, but for the each episode, maybe just 1 minute to 30 seconds or the 2 minutes. And it's for our data is really popular around the last year, especially for the Q3 to Q4. And we are focusing on the shopping, on the apps. So, but it's a different, little difference.
So what are some of the things that really fly in, say, for example, shopping in the creatives? Because there's two sides of this, which is interesting, Crystal. It's like, one is knowing what's popular so you understand what's popular. And then there's another school of thought that might say, yeah, I want to know what's popular so I can be very, very different. So, so the data is useful in both directions. I can either go with the flow and do everything everybody else does, or I can use it to be off the wall and different. So what is working in shopping?
Okay, you're talking about the shopping. Maybe we can talk about a lot of industries.
Yeah, we can do a lot of different, because you do all the non-gaming.
Yes.
Gaming is sort of...
It's a different.
It's different.
It's different. Area.
And it's completely digital, and it's not as much... There's so much about that. Player types, everything. But there's not that much about non-gaming.
Yes,
that's interesting.
Yeah,
so take me on a tour through non-gaming data.
Yeah, exactly. Talking about this part, of course, we have some lists. It's kind of like we will give you some numbers. The highest maybe 1,000 or 900 more than. You can, depends on the numbers, you will find the hottest adcreatives is what, and you can see it. Sometimes maybe you like it, maybe you don't like it, but you will find the reason why people like it. It doesn't matter you like it or not. And we will let you know to know maybe if there is ads on Facebook, people like it. If the ads on TikTok, maybe it's not really hot. So you can find the difference because, the audience is different for these apps. That's the first, like what you said, you can follow the rest. And also a lot of our clients, they are doing something like, they will just skip to the 1, 2, 3 pages, I think. Just skip to the top 30.
Because tell us what's hot.
We know. Because first reason, most of them coming to a really, really big company. Sometimes like Shane, there's a branding. It doesn't matter. It's,
they can do anything.
They're
gonna do just
you
fine.
can do everything. And you will see something like, it's good. The clothes is good. But when you see the logo, it's telling you everything. But you don't have this logo. You need to brand in your new logo. So of course, you can learn something from her. But also you will find something is very interesting things. Maybe after the top 50, top 40s, they will just doing from the small business. They will have their own website. They will showing the same, maybe the clothes. They will maybe give you a story about it, and you'll say, oh, it's very interesting, because they give you a reason to buy it, and then you will go to their website to buy it. Maybe, I don't know, maybe for mom or for parents. So of course, our clients will doing the different ways, but we are just give them the data. About the strategies, we will showing something like the report. Only for this. We will talking you something like that, but you will decide it by yourself. Because the business is by yourself.
So you give me information about the creative, and then I can decide what I'm going to take from it. I'm Not quite sure, because of course this is then a client of Social Peta. You probably get then a little bit more actionable insights, a little bit more analysis. Is that the way it works?
Yeah, but actually we also doing kind of another things. It's like based on the ad creatives, because the ad creatives is coming from the different channels, and the ad creatives belong to different advertisers. And you also will find something will happening in the different regions. Because for instance, to you, maybe you will think something like, like the clothes, maybe they have different colors. What's the popular things? Of course, the fashion show will let you know that. And they will also have the different things like such as in the Middle East, maybe they have some different cultures. You need to know that. So about the ad creatives, you can just search about in that area. Maybe some kinds of these clothes will be popular in there because
and the cultural nuances, like you said. And then this goes across all the non-gaming verticals. So you're doing really all of them, or are you gradually evolving Social Peta so you can go deeper into each one? I mean, is it like you do shopping and food delivery, but travel maybe is coming?
We can do
and
each one.
You go to all of them. So it's in depth in each vertical.
Yeah, you different each verticals, and also each verticals about the different each advertisers, and you can find the advertisers what they are doing in the different regions. But all this based on their ad creatives.
Got it.
It's not based on only, but of course we are related with their in our app intelligence. We are related with their about the download or income. You can just to compare yourself. So
what are some surprises in there? Maybe just sort of like bite size, just rapid fire. A couple things that are like really outstanding, either in the data, things that like blow you away because like, oh, I never thought that was that popular, or in the other direction, oh, I would have thought that was, but isn't. Just to give us some idea of something to action on here, So something is hot, something's not. What surprised you?
Okay, cool. Because the difference about ad creatives, of course, you can show in the list from the Google Chrome or the Apple list. They will telling you about the top 20 or 10 about the download, but they will be very successful. You can do in the top 10. It's really hard for you to the top 100 actually for the new brand. But when you see something like the ad creatives, you will find some industries will be popular, popular in these regions. The reason is because we are updated very soon. So you can see something like, in Turkey now, the different industry, maybe at the last month, the shopping is top 1. But in this month, like what I said, the short drama, what is it? You even don't know that. Maybe I even don't know that. But you can see a lot of ad creatives in this area, in this region, and everybody just like it. They are just click like on it, because on the Facebook you can see all the all the data things, and you will find something like, the first things you will find new industries in the different region. This is first. And second, if you are decided doing one industry like the shopping things, maybe you can find something the insight about the same company in your area. I won't use another
one.
So
I'm going to get some inspiration basically from Social Peta. I'm going to see what's on, what's hot, what's not in the ad creatives, decide how to use that. I'm going to assume that you're doing this like in near real time because everything is moving so quickly. So what is it? Yes, I do have your reports, and you do have a report just recently because I got it in my inbox, but I'm assuming also like a dashboard, and I'm watching this, and I'm able to build a strategy based on your information.
Okay, you're talking about strategies. Actually, about the whole non-gaming app, like what I said, the Europe is buzzing because it's more than 67,000 advertisers for every month. You can see it's a lot. But when you back to Southeast Asia, and on average, an advertiser will more than 130 ad creatives for every month. And also, you need to doing something like, you need to take care about the different culture in this area. Maybe it's around the world. I'm not really sure because, I'm lived in Asia Pacific for a long while. Maybe I can feel more in this area, there are totally different culture things to doing it. And when you saw the ad creatives, even from a same company, they will do it a very different way. It's really interesting.
They need to adapt to the cultures.
Yes, adapt the cultures. And move to Middle East. Everything is about videos because according to the data, last quarter, it's almost 50% about creatives. It's videos, at least more than 45%.
Wow.
It's kind of like everyone's eyes just catching on the videos. Maybe it's around the world, I don't know, but in this region.
But you see it from culture to culture.
Yeah.
So you're seeing that like, okay, video is working in
Video
MENA,
is really working.
So you need to know that as your ad format. Then you have the idea of the creatives that are working. So it's not just like what is in the creative, but also the formats of the creatives and the channels and that mix and how that goes back and forth.
You're right, because
very cool.
It's around the whole world. Actually, the sport pictures as percentage is higher, I think.
Yeah.
But go to this region, just go to videos, baby. They just want to see the videos. And if you're back to North America here, it's kind of like everything just staying fresh. No matter if you're doing picture things or video things or HTML, whatever, just staying fresh because for the whole year, it's more than 50% creative is brand new. 80%, Becky. It's kind of like you need to doing the new thing every day.
Every day. It's,
baby.
No, it's not even every day. It's like, it's just constant. That's why, of course, using AI to generate some of it is the only way you're going to survive it. But then there's the other really positive. I was talking to someone from Voodoo, and he's like, well, this is great because then UA becomes a creative director. So it's actually interesting and exciting. You're not just dealing with numbers, you're dealing with images, you're dealing with cultures.
Yes.
So in a way, what you are at Social Peta is you're like a compass for me to navigate the world of creatives and the world of formats, which is very cool.
Yes, and maybe we can talking about something like the gaming next time because about the ad creatives, it's totally different because they are separate for different types, RPG and SLG, and the Voodoo is
genres, subgenres, new genres.
A lot of
hybrid casual, I get
different
it.
Types about the gaming have the different types about ad creatives, and they even have the different strategies about the ad creatives. It's really interesting.
Well, then I have to have Social Peta back, to keep on talking about this.
Of course.
But now I'm going to actually take another dive into your latest data, and I think I'm going to have you back for a full podcast. What do you say? Is that a deal?
Deal.
It's a deal.
Of course.
I'm on for it.
Yes.
So I have to thank you, Crystal, and I'm positive it won't be the last time. Thanks again.
Thank you. Really nice to meet you, Maggie.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay.